Prisma Reyes was a 26-year-old mother and veteran who went missing on April 17, 2019. She was last seen on surveillance video entering the parking garage of the apartment complex where her ex-boyfriend lived at about 6 p.m. that day. She never picked up her 6-year-old son Dominic from the babysitter's house that evening. Reyes had left her job at the car dealership for lunch around noon and met her ex-boyfriend at a Tex-Mex bar. The ex-boyfriend left, but Reyes stayed at the restaurant and continued drinking until she was asked to leave by the staff. She was also involved in a verbal road rage incident with another driver nearby and was seen pointing a gun at a motorist in traffic. Investigators have interviewed hundreds of people in the case but have not found any solid leads or suspects. They suspect foul play may have been involved in her disappearance. Reyes' family is desperate to find her and fears something bad had happened.
Well, Doug, Prisma Reyes' own mother told me she doesn't know why her daughter was here on.
What happened? What happened that day? What happened that day to Prisma Reyes? And she went missing back in 2019, I believe. So let's find out. Let's see what happened to Prisma Reyes. What happened to Prisma Reyes? What happened to Prisma Reyes? What happened to Prisma Reyes? Oh my card. Okay, so I see also in the investigations, I believe she was drunk. She was drinking. She had just got off of work. She had went on her lunch break, I believe, and just like weird little altercations had happened that day with her. So I feel she had she had came across somebody in the apartment buildings, because in the apartment complex I believe she came across somebody. It was not somebody that she could trust. It was definitely somebody with bad intentions, because you have the tower here. So I feel like, of course, something really bad happened. I don't this is not good. I'm not getting I believe something happened to her in those apartment buildings and somebody within those apartment buildings. But like I was saying, she was drunk, leaving. She left work, she went to the bar, had a few drinks, and I believe the bartender stopped her, so she left the bar and then went straight to immediately to the ex-boyfriend's apartments. And then before that, just before that, she had actually pulled a gun out on some passengers that had were driving, that cut her off, I believe, or something weird like that had happened, and she had pulled a gun out on them. And so whenever she got into the apartment complex, it was a gated apartment complex. So she actually snuck her way in. She waited for another vehicle to come in, and then she snuck in. She left her vehicle outside of the gates and she snuck in by herself with her purse. And that's what we see. That's what we see in the video. And then we see her last sighting, which is by the elevators. And so I'm just getting that, something really bad happened. I think she came across somebody that was not to be messed with, somebody that had bad intentions. Maybe they acted like if they were going to help her. Maybe she asked for some help or they offered some help to her. Let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna ask, is Prisma Reyes still alive? Well, let's dig a little deeper. Let's see what actually happened. Like, okay, so I know somebody probably confronted her and had something to do with her disappearance, obviously. Let's see what else I can ask. Was Prisma Reyes kidnapped? Was Prisma Reyes kidnapped? Was Prisma Reyes kidnapped? So I do want to say, I'm gonna say that maybe the person that took her, I want to say maybe she got into like maybe a small altercation with somebody there. She probably pissed somebody off, and they I don't know, this is like so weird. Let me see. What happened? Is Prisma Reyes alive? Is Prisma Reyes alive? Okay. Is Prisma Reyes alive? Is Prisma Reyes alive? Is Prisma Reyes alive? Okay. So I don't believe Prisma Reyes is alive. I believe whoever um encountered her here in these apartment buildings, I feel like they were the ones who had something to do with her disappearance. I want to say she was almost killed immediately. Um, yeah, I want to say that she was killed almost immediately. Maybe right. Maybe somebody saw her as like an opportunity, maybe seeing her as vulnerable because she, like I said, she was drunk, she was intoxicated, and maybe somebody just seen her as an opportunity to, just take advantage, whether if that was sexually abuse her, um, whatever the case may be. And I definitely don't feel that she is here with us anymore. I do believe her life was taken that same day she went missing. And I believe it has something to do with the people that lived in the apartment buildings. I believe it was somebody either visiting, maybe the person that lives there. And I just don't feel like they did enough to investigate what happened to her. And yeah, I feel definitely a male has something to do with her disappearance. And let's see, where is Prisma Reyes' body? We're gonna find out where her body is. Where is Prisma Reyes' body? Where is Prisma Reyes' body? Yeah. So I want to say they discarded her body. How they disposed of her body was like maybe they buried her somewheres. Let me see what else. What happened to Prisma Reyes? Where is Prisma Reyes' body? Where's Prisma Reyes' body? Yeah. So I want to say this person discarded her. I want to say they buried her maybe far out in some woods, just somewheres very common where you would hear about these situations where they would find bodies. Could be in a body of water, but I'm getting more in the ground. I'm getting more like buried. I do see that her life was taken almost immediately. The same day she went missing is the same day she passed away. And I do believe it was a male behind this. It was a male. I don't believe this was planned. This was something, like I said, it was maybe they seen her as vulnerable. Maybe they just wanted to take advantage of her, and then it led to something more. It led to a fight. And I just feel like maybe she resisted. Maybe she resisted, and this what caused. Maybe they knocked her out, knocked her unconscious, and put her in a vehicle because she was in like a parking garage. Well, it wasn't like a parking garage, but complex. So I believe it was somebody that lived there, somebody that was leaving from the complex, or somebody that actually lives there, and like somebody who's just not right, who's not stable. But this is somebody that people will overlook. This person, whoever this person is, let me see. Let me get a little bit more of a description of them. Who is this person that had to do with Prisma's disappearance and murder? What happened to who is this person that killed Prisma Reyes? Who is this person that killed Prisma Reyes? Who is this person? Yes, okay. Yes, I had it right. Yeah, so this person is really overlooked, very overlooked. Maybe this person has I feel like this person may have money. I feel like this person came from money. Their family has money possibly. And I just feel like this person was really overlooked, super overlooked, somebody you don't expect to have done this. And yeah, and I think people suspected that the ex-boyfriend did it. I don't get that it was the ex-boyfriend, but I'm gonna ask anyway. I'm gonna see. Let's see. Was it Prisma's ex-boyfriend that had anything to do with her disappearance? Was it Prisma's ex-boyfriend? No, it wasn't him. No, because she went over there. So I don't know if this was somebody who had been watching her, who had probably seen her. It was just really fast, perfect opportunity to strike. Really sad. It's really sad. Prisma Reyes, nobody had been able to shed any light about what happened to her. It was just a dead end. Nobody really knows what happened, and she's still missing to this day. So I pulled that she is no longer here with us, and of a little bit of what happened. And sad, very, very sad. All prayers to her family. I hope they can possibly see this, somebody can possibly see this that has anything to do with Prisma Reyes, to get some sort of clarity, or at least try to connect the dots a little bit better than I could. And but yeah, that's just kind of what I got. Thank you so much for watching, guys.